It's like, why does the most prestigious race have to be 100 miles?
I also said that when I got into trail running. I was like, this is stupid. Like, why does it have to be 100 miles? Now, I don't know, a few days removed from Western States, I'm like, no, I kind of get it. This is it, you know?
So once we get into
it's not even that bad. Like, you just...
It's not that bad.
What do you mean? You were just saying how you didn't want to do it ever again.
Well,
I didn't,
but...
The Western States 100-mile debutante has returned home. Together with his brotherhood of boys and inspired new training,
You were on the Norwegian double threshold train, no?
I tried, yeah.
he was able to rise above the fallen and finish the quest most can only dream of. He ventured forth as a newcomer and returned a conqueror of canyons.
That signature Seth Ruhling stride is starting to come out in this final 100 meters of his debut 100-mile journey at the 2025 Western States 100. This is Seth Ruhling.
The wilderness itself whispers his name, Year of the Boy.
Coffee club, grind your beans and grab your favorite mug. It's Ollie, Morgan, George, and Gus. It's them boys from Coffee Club. Boys from Coffee Club.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Coffee Club podcast for episode 193. Finally, we're back in the studio together, so we're very, very excited about that. And also, we're joined by a very special guest today, someone who's run more miles than the three of us combined in the last few days. His name is Mr. Seth Ruhling. How you doing, bro?
Good. Yeah, thanks for having me on. Honored to be on the pod for the first time y'all are together.
Yeah, and also a rival podcast, we could say.
Yeah.
How's it rival? The Outdoor Boys are so much better than us.
No, I think y'all are killing us.
I don't know, but you guys have Boulder in your title, so you guys kind of got the Boulder.
I looked you guys up. Outdoor Boys has like millions and millions of subscribers. What are you talking about?
All right. Just for anyone who doesn't know, because the thing is, like, you know, the worlds are still very different, I would say, from like the track world and the trail world. So I think there would be some people who wouldn't really even know like what we're talking about. So you have a podcast called the Boulder Boys Podcast, Year of the Boy. Everyone hop on the bandwagon. But for yourself personally in the pod, do you want to give like kind of a little just intro?
Oh,
what's your story?
What's my story? Oh man.
Straight into the hot question.
I don't know. I'm a trail runner for the North Face. I have, I don't know, got into running similar to you guys with track in like high school and college, and then I don't know, found trail running because I was injured all the time, and I like never got injured running trails, so just kind of hopped on that sort of trajectory, and yeah, I don't know.
And here we are.
I am. Just finished my first 100-miler a few days ago.
And you can walk down the stairs too. I saw you walking down the stairs. That's pretty impressive.
Easy, light work. No, and then me and some buddies just started a podcast called the Boulder Boys Show. Kind of like we didn't love the name of it, but a couple like media groups in trail running called us the Boulder Boys, and we were like, oh, we'll just run with it. So,
Stuck. It's good alliteration.
Honestly, I just ripped you guys off. That's pretty much it.
Fair enough. And you were very humble in the way you described that you did your first 100 race, because that race was Western States, which again, you're going to have to do a lot of educating to us and maybe some of our fans. Is that the biggest like 100-mile race in America in terms of competition?
For sure. And I would say even like, I know like Leadville is very historic, but I'd say Western States is for sure the biggest 100-miler in the U.S. from how many eyes are on it, how many fans like care, and then also, the competition. And
you finished, was it sixth?
Sixth, yeah.
Wow.
Oof.
Amazing. 14 hours and
59 minutes.
How good was that, watching the clock say 14:59 and not 15:00?
Oh my goodness. So it was like, I guess, I don't know if we're getting right into it, but I had like such a bad moment, like at mile 90. Like I was walking like potato chips in hand, and I was like, oh, like I'm going to be getting in like 15:30 or something.
Yep.
And I don't know, started feeling good again, and coming down the last like half mile, my buddies who I was running with, they were like, oh my goodness, it's going to be so close. You're going to have to really book it. And it's like at the end of 100 miles. So I have like nothing left. Like I'm trying. I've been trying to book it since, 100 miles ago, but get onto the track, and yeah, I don't know. I thought I was gonna have to run like some
Like a
ridiculous
sub 60.
300.
Sub 60.
It's like a 300 exactly, and I was like, I don't know. I've never even ran like a 45-second 300. Like, what am I going to do? And I come around the corner and I have like, I don't know, 20 seconds to spare. I was like, I didn't have to try that hard.
Yeah.
But it was good to see the sub 15.
14:59 sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
The sub 15 barrier, and it's the 15-hour barrier. That's like, for our track minds, that's hard to comprehend, I will say. And we're going to get more into all that stuff. But before we get too deep in the pod, I think we do have a couple little shout outs to do. First off, Seth has been very kind and has brought us all bags of beans from Verb Coffee Roasters here in Boulder, which is our favorite coffee roaster here. So
huge green flag that Seth also recognizes that it's the best coffee in Boulder. So
absolutely,
that's good to know.
And also, so thank you very much for that. Really appreciate it. We'll definitely have you on probably every week from now on if that's how this works. Yeah. But then, very special Gus shout out.
Gus shout out. Yeah. I was at the track and I've been getting complaints from Gus for CEO update. He does appreciate that we get some lovely people like Seth Ruhling to deliver some beans and to be very gracious with our fans too, getting beans at nearly every meet we possibly get. But what does Gus get out of coffee beans?
Not much.
Yeah, fuck all. So I was at the track.
Are you telling us you're not making him coffees in the morning?
I'm making him puppuccinos, but there's no coffee beans in that, brother.
All right.
If I gave Gus coffee, he'd either be running around my apartment constantly or he'd be shitting everywhere. So thankfully, I just give him puppuccinos. But he obviously has a lot of passions for treats. He's very a food-orientated dog. And I was at the track and I get over to my car and much to Yara's dismay, I got left a little beautiful little package from Winnie Lou, the Canine Co., which is a Colorado company. And I got left 2 bags of treats from the owner, who was actually at the track running around at Niawat track. And I asked him if I could shout it out in the pod, maybe a potential sponsor, who knows, for Gus. But
let's make that happen.
But to be honest, very special 2 bags of treats for Gussie. He's very excited about this. This is the first thing that we've received from the podcast, other than the financial money that he receives, that he will really properly enjoy. And it says property of the CEO already written on it. So we can't touch it, boys. Even though if we like to eat dog treats, we're not allowed to touch this.
I was just thinking, how devastating would it be if now we transition to no one giving us coffee beans and it's always dog food from now on?
We get to meets and it's just like, oh, these are bad coffee beans. Oh, it's just dog treats.
Yeah, I'll take 10 pounds of dog food back in my bag, back to America.
But Winnie Lou, if you have a pet, go and check them out.
This is actually amazing. Gus's investment from like 3 years ago is finally paying off.
It's paying off. It's paying off in dividends. But thank you so much for these treats from the owner. Check out the website. They're a pretty cool company. And Gus is very excited to try these treats when he gets home. Hopefully he's well behaved. Well, I'm well behaved, actually, to be fair, because he does run the house. But that's our little shout out for Gus.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Wow. So cool. And something else is really exciting is happening this month for us. You know, we don't really do that many sponsorships, even though we openly say that we will sell our souls and bodies if you want to. But not many people come around. I don't know why. I don't know what's wrong with us, but we're super, super pumped because this month we're starting to work with Core, who I think a lot of you guys by now would have heard about the company. It's still like relatively early in terms of the development of these types of products. They're right at kind of like the cutting edge of it in terms of heat training and tracking it specifically. But yeah, they're sponsoring us for the month, I suppose. And we will have a link in our description to go buy a Core. What do you call it? A Core heat monitor?
Yeah, I think they call it the Core sensor.
The Core sensor. That definitely is the correct name. I should know that. The Core sensor.
The second one too. That's the second version, I'm pretty sure.
Number 2. And we're going to get all, we would talk about heat training just anyway, because it's something that is really interesting to us and has been increasingly interesting to us. And it's something that's fun. You know, I can't speak for Ollie.
Well, you two have saunas, so you guys have been very much on the heat training bandwagon.
We believe in it.
I think
that's the main thing.
I'm hopefully gonna get a sauna at some point. I am looking at getting one, so I want to get a sauna and a cold plunge. But you guys have been saunering. I know Joe Klecker, our teammate, King Klecker.
He was rocking one today.
He's been hitting the heat training pretty hard. As a road runner, I think it's pretty
pretty good resource to use. Joe was texting me all last night and this morning how to connect it to his watch. He was having technical difficulties. But I've been using it the last few weeks which has actually been a good way to do it since I haven't been running. Like a controlled environment inside, either biking or stairmastering. Morg would have had it, except it got lost in the mail right before he left, and then showed up like a week later on the door, even though it said it had been delivered a week earlier. Some postal service, I don't know, sent it to the wrong part of the country, and it's been really cool actually.
Yeah, do you want to explain for people who actually have no idea like what it actually is and what the app and how it works?
It looks just like a heart rate monitor, and it connects to your heart rate monitor strap. Either like I use the armband strap, so I just connect it right next to my heart rate monitor on my arm, and it tells you, I think it literally just measures skin temp and core temp. I think it's just 2 metrics, but it also connects to your heart rate monitor to, I think maybe it like uses that in the algorithm to like for like heat strain, basically, like how hard it is. I think it must use that. Otherwise, why would it use your heart rate monitor? So it tells you like those 3 things, and then it comes up with this algorithm for like how, I think it's like an arbitrary number they've come up with, like heat strain number.
Yeah, I'm
But
sure
they basically combine skin temperature and core temperature to tell you how much of an adaptation you're getting, and then they have this like they basically like kind of use a model that tells you when you're doing enough to get an adaptation, or like thermal resting, or if you're going like maybe more than what's the science says is necessary to get an adaptation. Because like, I don't know, the amount of heat training required doesn't seem like it's really that much over like a weekly basis to get a lot of benefits. You can obviously push that, which I'm sure some people do.
Yeah, and that can be really dangerous.
Yeah, definitely. Like, for example, I know David Roche definitely blows that way out of the water, and he says, like, I'm going to do this and test it out. You guys probably shouldn't do this, for example.
Well, we've all experienced being too hot in a session, and you're cooked after it. You know? Like, that's a real thing. So I think it's good to have actually some feedback to be like, no, you're doing enough. You're doing actually the optimal. You shouldn't do any more. So I think that's super nice to actually have something that's more concrete to kind of hold your hand along, because otherwise you're just guessing. I mean, it's been something that's like been done. I think cycling teams, like obviously on a bike, it's much easier to dial in the numbers and stuff. But it's kind of from what I know, the first time in running that they're creating a good way to actually like track this stuff and to help you optimize it. And the reason for that, the benefits, we've talked about it before and we'll definitely talk about it more, but you know, so many good endurance benefits, like a lot of similarities with altitude training. So really relevant if you're at sea level or if you're doing it altitude like us, and really relevant not just for the benefits from a pure like endurance standpoint, but also to get adapted to racing in hot climates, which is something that we all do as well. And it's nice to have it in a convenient sensor form, because as we all know, the actual when they do the studies, the way that you're meant to measure your core temperature is a little more strenuous. Do you know how they do it, Ollie?
No. Slightly more invasive.
Take a guess how you're actually meant to measure someone's core temperature.
You stick a thermometer up your bum?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's like what you're meant to do.
Well, yeah. Well, look, I am planning on using my core sensor for a very different purpose to you guys. My heart rate doesn't get very high in training or in workouts. The only time my heart rate gets high is if I'm playing Stadium Overwatch. So I'm going to be wearing my heart rate sensor monitor because my apartment's actually sauna. Like it retains heat. It does not cool off in there. So I'm going to be wearing it and playing video games, and it's going to be really good for heat acclimatization, and also keeping my heart rate high. So I'm going to be wearing it for that.
That's actually not even a joke. You could definitely do that.
I'm 100% doing that.
You should be doing that.
If you put on the heat suit, a few jackets, chucked on the core sensor, like I'm sure you would be at like, it would be a low level. But if you did that for like what I think you do it for each day or each week, like that would definitely register.
I'm not kidding. I'm actually going to be doing
that. That would register on that. That's a great idea.
I'm doing it so like my plan is, I actually was going to tell you guys this, but from August, like that month of August, I'm going to be doing that every day.
Perfect.
For like every time I play video games, I'm putting it on.
Well, we wanted to have, I think initially one of the ideas was to have a competition for who could become the most heat adapted, but George has such a head start.
I was going to say, that's not a fair
give us the
competition
update
at
of
all.
where you're at, George.
Currently 87% heat adapted.
And that's in just 2 weeks, right?
Yeah,
That's crazy.
in 2 weeks. So
Well, in the science, it only takes 10 days, I think. Technically, if you do it full on, you can get the full adaptation in 10 days, I think it is. You can do it really quickly, which is
Full
cool.
adaption's 100%, I'm guessing, right?
yeah, but 90% is heat champion. So maybe I'll have a crack at that this afternoon.
What do
'cause
you start off at? Like 70%, 60%? Like, sure, do you start at
you
zero?
start at 0,
Yeah.
Oh, really?
thermal rookie, and then 25%, they say heat. Fuck, I've forgotten the word they use. Heat acclimated or something.
Can you buy the battle pass and like skip through that
Yeah,
stuff
look at
and
the
then like,
skins and stuff.
like can
It's
I
pay
have
to
different
win.
skins and like
Pay to win, yeah.
pay to win?
Then you
so I
become
can
heat adapted, and then you become heat champion.
pay an extra $20 and I'm already heat champion.
You're going to need it because you're at 0. But so is Morg. Although,
Yeah.
Technically, I'm not at 0 though because I have been training in the heat.
That's one thing that I'm
yeah, but
concerned
the
about.
app says 0.
Oh well, whatever.
Like if you're already heat adapted and then you use the app, how does it is it relative? Does it work on a fully like relative to you basis, or is it completely like objective from?
I think it will. I actually don't know, but I think your curve will just start. Like if you did a heat training session like you've been doing, I think your curve will be so steep that it'll just shoot up the first like half of the percentage.
Interesting. Well,
is what I assume.
very excited to see how
Yeah.
this is going to play out. And yeah, as I said, we'll be talking about this a lot more. So please leave a comment with your heat training related questions, and we're going to dive deeper into this in the next few episodes. And also, we're going to do something really cool for the first 10 people that purchase one. Send us a message with some proof, some evidence, and we're going to send you out a beanie, a Coffee Club beanie, so you can do your heat training in the beanie. That's what it's designed for. It's a training tool. So
Make sure you take a photo of that too and send it to us so we can have the archives of all our Coffee
we're
Club
going to have
heat
an
acclimatizing with their
army
beanie on.
of heat-trained
Yeah.
champions, and it's going to be epic. And yeah, we're going to have a lot of fun with this. But so we talked a little bit before we started with Seth, because he was doing heat training. It's very, very relevant in your world because the race that you just partook in is, it goes during the day in the summertime in California. So what was heat training like for you leading into that race? And do you think it was a big factor in the end?
Yeah, it was definitely a huge factor. I didn't have a core sensor though, so I don't know what that would have been good to know if I was at 100% or something. But no, I think I probably took a more like traditional approach to heat training. I have a sauna in my garage. It's an infrared sauna, so it doesn't get quite as hot.
That's what we have as well.
We have the
Okay.
same.
So I felt like the infrared sauna wasn't quite hot enough, so I'd get in there with like a bunch of clothes and just like sit in there and sweat. And then honestly, like it was so hot in Boulder like the 2 weeks before
Yeah.
that I'd just go like if I was doing a workout, like I'd warm up and cool down in like a full sweatsuit, just like a hoodie,
That's a good way to do
pants,
it.
and then or like I think 2 weeks before States, I had like back-to-back long runs, like 3 hours back-to-back, and like just kind of normal running. But I'd wait till like noon or 1 to go for a run. So, and then the other thing that I was most proud about was I'd just get in my car. I wouldn't turn the AC on, and I'd just drive home like sweating.
I saw people doing that. I saw someone said there was a thing where people would do that, and they would get in their car and turn the heat on after a run.
Yeah.
It sounds terrible.
Lunatics.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever watch? I'm sure you guys had the Sweat Elite. You guys know the Sweat
Yep.
Elite guy. Did you guys ever watch the Jim Walmsley video?
I didn't see that one. Is that what
You
he
should
does?
look it up. The Sweat Elite like camera guy passes out because Jim won't let him. Like Jim drives from Flagstaff to Sedona, does a 16-mile run, and drives back
With the heat on.
That's psycho.
with like no AC, heat on, windows like rolled up, and he wouldn't let this guy
Sweatbox.
roll down the windows. I guess he passed out on the drive back.
Oh my God.
So
Yeah, I mean,
I
that's
think
really
that's
hard.
key
And that's
training.
a part of it, right? You're meant to let your body naturally come back after training. Like you don't want to like cool yourself off after training.
yeah, I think so. I think for me it was I had to kind of weigh like fatigue and fitness stimulus and heat training.
Yeah,
It's
and
like-
that's why the core sensor is nice to actually track it.
100%. Because like heat training, ketones, like all these things that carbs, like carbs
Buzzwords.
are maybe a little more buzzwords. It's all these like 1% gains. And it's like, I don't know, you still have to like make sure that like 99% of training, like fitness and getting good at running is like always the main focus. So it was always just kind of weighing the, I don't know, weighing it like, am I doing enough heat training to like be heat adapted, but not too much to like
not to take away from the quality of your sessions
100%.
you're running.
So like, I don't know, like I couldn't really justify or even feel like comfortable doing like big, like 1 hour, 2 hour sessions running in the heat, like with a heat suit or something. Like, I just think the quality of my runs might have been a little too low. So, and honestly, now doing Western States, you don't actually ever get that hot because the icing techniques are so good.
Yeah, and there's so many aid stations and
so
stuff.
many aid stations. So
how
much
long does the ice last from an aid station though?
So I don't think I ever ran out of ice chips. Like in my,
Where were they?
I had a double-sided bandana, so it was a bandana pouch in the front, bandana in the back. It looked like a bib, looked like a baby bib. And yeah, every aid station I just like open it up. They'd shove ice down in there, or if I had a crew spot, I'd switch to a new bandana thing full of ice. And I don't know, like I definitely, it was hot for sure at times, but it never got that hot. Like running an hour in Boulder like last week or 2 weeks ago was hotter than anything I experienced during the race.
It's crazy.
Really?
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
That is crazy to think about.
That's a big difference maker.
For sure. So I don't know. I think heat training's super important, and like for running the mile or whatever, like I think there's some performance benefits, but I think you always gotta make sure you're like not sacrificing fitness.
Mm-hmm. That's why for us in a busy schedule, it's actually hard to time it. Like it's hard to work out when you want to do it, because like you would think obviously not before a workout, not during a workout. So you kind of have to do it after workout, because I think like you could say like non-workout days, but then those are your recovery days. So it's like those are, like you just said, yeah, you have to weigh up like, well, if I do this, get all the stimulus on my recovery days, like, am I really going to be recovering? So I think like you said, doing it for a warm up and then especially for a cool down after a workout sounds pretty smart, because then it's a good time to just add a little bit more load and then you have long recovery.
Yeah. And I also think like hydrating and like taking care of yourself after a heat session, like even if it's just sitting in the sauna, like taking care of yourself after, just as if you did a hard workout, is super important too. Like eating and drinking. And
how long were your sauna sessions looking? Because I know some people have protocols where they're in the sauna for so long and it just sounds so boring.
No, yeah, it was terrible. Not that long. So when I first got the infrared sauna, I was just sitting there like shorts, shirtless, and like it would take so long to get hot.
Does the infrared penetrate clothing though?
It does. Yeah,
Does
yeah.
it?
Or I felt it did. Yeah.
You felt hotter. More
yeah.
hot.
Like if you,
Because like it's like goes like into your.
Were you measuring your core temp? Wink, wink.
no, I wasn't. So I was sweating a lot though. Is my measurement.
Because I thought an infrared had to be like on your skin for it to like penetrate. It goes through clothing.
Yeah, like a micro, like you microwave something.
Gonna have to ask ChatGPT that one.
Yeah, I also don't know for sure, but it felt like it did. Either way,
if you felt more hot, then I trust you.
Yeah,
like exactly.
If you guys like, I don't know, they sent you those core suit things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, chuck that on in the sauna.
Put that in, get in the sauna. It's like not relaxing at all, but it gets the job
That's
done
right,
like,
it's
way
training.
quicker. So I'd only be in there for like 30 minutes.
Nice.
And only like 2 or 3 times a week. But I was heat training since like December.
Yeah, there's like kind of like no reason to ever stop once you start.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I have a buddy who,
as long as you have the time, the
yeah,
availability.
Totally. I have a buddy who rides. He's a track cyclist for like the USA Olympic cycling thing, and he that was the thing he told me. He was like, "Yeah, we never stop heat training." So
yeah,
it just makes sense.
Yeah, and because it's from all the stuff that I saw about the studies, it's actually pretty cool. Once you get to your status as a heat champion, once you're adapted, it's really easy to maintain those benefits. I think you can maintain, like if you, let's say you go through this brutal kind of like 2-3 week period, I think you only have to do the sessions like once or twice a week after that to maintain them. So
yeah,
that's why I'm doing it now, cross training, so that when I'm doing it running, it will be way less.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
It's going to be nice.
And I do feel like maybe in the summer, like when it's super hot, like I don't know what time y'all run, but
we're starting to run a little earlier, but still like in Boulder, it gets hot quick. Like I think by 9 to 10, it's
like you guys are probably
hot.
doubling in like 90 plus.
I try to double early just because I want to be hot. Like I feel like for me, I'm trying to be dealing with heat because I don't have all the stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of doing it like just being in the heat, and my races are a lot shorter than 100 miles. It's only
fair.
one.
Fair,
So like for me, it's like if I can put myself in heat, then I can sort of get used to it. But I think I'm not as on top of it as usual. But I'll try and run
I
it.
think
90
naturally,
plus.
not even trying, you would get pretty.
Yeah, I'm
You
curious.
just get used to. I've been in
during
Boulder.
the
I think
summer.
if you're outside, you get used to like maybe not heat champion like George, but you'll get like maybe 70%, maybe.
Yeah.
Just
I mean,
from doing
I'm
the
curious
regular
what
stuff.
the core would say if you like didn't do any specific heat training and just like
Just lived a
Just
summer.
lived it
double
out.
at like 3 p.m.
That would be interesting to see,
I think
like
you get a lot.
what your acclimatation is just from doing regular stuff in heat.
Well,
Then doing it.
if you used it, we would know, Ollie.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I don't have it.
You can
so
try that.
Of course you
Test
have.
it out.
I don't have the.
We're gonna
sensor.
get you one.
What do you want me to like?
Is it
Do you want me to fucking
Is it
put it on?
upstairs? I think
You want
it's
me to put it on you for you? What do you want me to do?
No, I don't have it. I don't have the core.
You're gonna
sensor.
have one by the end of the day.
There we go. I don't have a
upstairs.
core sensor. That's
It's
like
upstairs.
if I have one, maybe
There's one with your
I'd
name
do
on it.
Okay, there we go.
Okay.
If you need me to hold your hand, Ollie,
But yeah,
I'll
I
do
mean,
it.
no, I never got it, George. I never got it.
We'll sort that out. don't worry.
Somebody's been hoarding all the core sensors. I don't know who it is.
George is wearing
but-
four at once.
I've been using all of them at
Yeah.
once. So you guys are actually at the same level as me.
I like that because it's like, I don't know. I think it's good, but I still think like, yeah, I guess there's a difference, right? I'm just thinking through my head different scenarios what we might be racing in. If you're heat adapted, that doesn't necessarily mean you're adapted to humidity, does it? Or are those the same thing? Because I remember before we went to Tokyo, did a little bit of training in like wearing more clothes, and then rock up in Tokyo, which is so hot and humid, and I felt so bad. I was like, I don't think I've done it. I don't think I've gotten any benefit out of it. So I wonder if that's a different story.
I have no
Something
idea.
we have to investigate.
I have no idea.
That
can't
I don't
imagine what
know.
it is.
We got to get a heat chamber in our gym and make it humid because I used the heat chamber when I was back home at the N-Swiss, and it was so sick.
Or do you guys have a heat chamber in your gym?
Not yet.
No,
Okay.
we just need to crank the heat in there.
Well, you can make a heat chamber really quick. If you just have a small room, you put one or two heaters, you put a humidifier in there.
Yeah.
Dude, you got a heat chamber.
Dude, one of the. One
I
of my
guess you need to
friends-
filter the air, otherwise the carbon dioxide goes too high and then you die. But that actually happens, I
That's a
think.
problem. Yeah,
that
one of
sounds
my
dangerous.
one of my buddies at part of the Boulder Boys pod.
Shout out.
He goes in. He has like a little bathroom, and he just turns on the shower, puts a
I've heard
heater in
about
there,
that. Yeah.
and like closes all the doors and just rides on a bike in there for.
That'd be probably really
It's
effective,
like-
huh?
Oh, it's. I tried it once. It was disgusting.
Yeah, that sounds terrible.
Yeah, it
Sounds so
miserable.
bad.
It's way easier just
So
to
there's
sit in a
definitely,
sauna.
there are cheap ways to do it. You just got to do it.
All right. If heat wasn't a big factor last weekend, like what was the difference maker? How do you know you were good to run 100 miles, having never done it before?
Oh, dude, you have
How could
no.
you ever know?
You don't know.
Yeah.
That's the thing. That's the thing. I think even when people, I think there's one dude on that start line that knew he was good to run 100 miles, and it was Killian. You know, like he's done it so many times.
Yeah.
Everybody
true.
else was like, I mean, you looked at it like past states champions like blew up and walked it in respectfully, walked it in for like a 24-hour finish. So it's like,
Yeah.
even if you think you know what you're doing, or guys who are good 100-mile specialists or whatever, dropped out 100K in. You have no idea. That's like craziest thing about.
You must have some confidence though.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
and does it come from like just how you feel having done massive runs, or does it come from like you qualified at Black Canyon?
Yeah.
Is that 100K?
100K. Yeah, I think the biggest thing for like 100-miler is obviously you got to be fit. You got to be able to run a long ways. You got to be like pretty durable over the course of 100 miles and 20,000 feet of drop. But I think I don't know. Like the biggest thing for me was just like I felt calm, like mentally. And so I feel like if you're calm in 100 miles, you can kind of just do anything.
It's kind of the beauty of it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Not knowing and being able to achieve something like that with a lot of people doing it together. I think that's just a beautiful thing. It's chaotic, but it's kind of cool.
I'll be honest, guys. Watching this race, I was like, I believe that trail running is like the future. After witnessing it,
It was so sick.
because I got lucky. The race started because I was in Australia. The race started at 10 p.m. So it was a good time. Like I watched the first 45 minutes of it before I went to bed, and just witnessing and they were doing a really good job covering it. The commentating was amazing. Just seeing the epicness of all these people at 5 a.m. in the morning starting to run up a freaking mountain like epic beginning, you're just like, wow, this is special. And it was cool. Like there was a lot of people watching it live, and I can only imagine that the coverage is going to get better and better with technology every year. Like once it's really on point, oh, dude.
Did it have drones? Like drones were following crowds
drone
and
shots
stuff?
for sure.
So like you can imagine in the future, there's just going to be drones everywhere covering every single,
it's so epic.
every step.
Yeah, the drone footage is sick. And like now with Starlink, because we used to watch it, you used to have to follow Western States on Twitter.
Right.
It'd just be like somebody
just with updates and stuff like that.
Like this guy looked fine. Like, and now you get a little grainy photo of somebody running across the trail.
It seems sweet. Like it seemed like this year they were like, at least for maybe it was like 50K or like maybe 20 something miles. There were like 9 or 12 of you guys together. Or like within like 90 seconds for like the first like 4 or 5 hours. I feel like you were leading it. Like when you leading at like 15 or 20 miles.
Yeah, no, I don't know about that, but I did put a move in about 50K in.
Really?
Because I don't know.
I remember seeing you at the front at some point. I was like, was that sick? Or was it just cool running in this massive group?
Yeah, I mean, it's super cool because it's such a long race. Like,
it seems like it would be more spread out, but
no,
in normal years maybe, or in other years.
Yeah, nowadays you have to like just go. If you want to win, you have to go with the pace.
Yeah,
like it's pretty.
Like those guys weren't coming back.
No, those guys weren't coming back, and like we were well under course record pace and all this, and like obviously nobody ran a course record, but it's like I think with the cooling strategies we have and all that, like nobody's blowing up like they used to. So it's like if you're not in it, you're not coming back. Like you might be able to like start off slow and like crawl your way to a top 10 or something.
Yeah,
you're no chance gonna win. But no, it was sick. Like and taking the lead for a little bit. I don't know. That was more just to see the trail.
Yeah,
it's like you get in this Congo line of people and like you can't see the trail and you're just stumbling around the rocks and like I don't know. And there's a lot of conversation that happens. Like
really?
Yeah.
What are you guys talking about?
I guess you guys are. Are you in zone 2? Like what's going on here? Zone 1, I guess.
Oh, zone 2 for sure.
Zone 2?
Yeah.
How
I mean, I feel like the heart rate's pretty
zone 2
high. 14 hours and 59 minutes.
Okay, that's massive. It's a zone 2 race.
Yeah.
Infinite threshold, baby.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Actually, I did a lot of threshold for this.
Yeah, I feel like threshold would be amazing for this.
Yeah, it's the move. What are we talking about? I don't know. Like, it was fun I never met Killian before, and he's kind of like a legend. I don't know.
A little bit.
Just a small legend. Yeah.
Just a small legend. So we actually quite literally small. So we just chatted a bunch and I don't know, at some point it would get quiet. So you'd be like, anybody see any good shows? Like, I don't want to be sitting in my head for 15 hours. Like,
for real, I didn't expect that.
But it's different. Like in the US guys are really chatty. You go over to Europe and the French, particularly the French, like don't say a word.
Seems like different worlds, like the trail scenes.
Yeah, definitely.
I think that's a little bit in the track world too. I think
true.
US meets are a lot more friendly than European meets.
Yeah, they got some egos over there.
Yeah,
I'm gonna disagree with that.
You think the Europe meets are more chill?
I guess
no chance.
I guess for me personally, like the environment I'm in with the 1500.
That's just because you and Jakob are best friends. You guys have so much to catch up every time you see each other.
Not just that. Every time I see Tim Chariot, I have lovely conversations with Tim. Anytime I see anyone
Chariot,
from the 15.
European.
But like the European meets, George. Like I think when I'm in Europe, I see all those top dogs, and we always have great
And
conversations.
what happens when you're in America?
It's the same. It's the same people. So for me, America and Europe meets for the 1500 or mile specifically, it doesn't change.
Fair enough.
But maybe maybe
Steeple
the steeple.
chase is completely
Maybe the steeple.
like, they hate each other.
I mean, George is dealing with a lot of Germans right now, and we've got the best German.
Hey,
personally, with humor.
Yeah.
And
They're
with,
lovely, actually.
Well, then I don't know. I think. I don't know. I disagree with that comment. I think the European and the American meets, maybe they're more friendly, like with the spectators and maybe that's what you mean. I don't know. I've experienced love everywhere. So
I also will say that my one experience, I was in France trying to chat up a French dude, and like I was like, this guy's like so quiet and rude, and then like after the race they were like, yeah, he doesn't speak any English.
That
like,
can do it.
Maybe the
that
language
can be a bit of a barrier.
could be a thing as well. Yeah, I mean that's also like when you go to those meets over in Europe, that is their second language is English. So
it's true,
and that for them to articulate how they feel might be a lot more difficult, and they're a bit more scared to not give you the wrong impression.
Yeah, takes a lot of mental energy to like translate.
Yeah, whereas like
spot.
we're just speaking English. It's like what everyone speaks English here, so it's easier.
Totally, it does make a difference. I think we're definitely going to speak way more about Western States and geek out on it, but we're going to cut away now for a little bit to get back to track because Ollie does have to get away in a little bit, and there is...
Koki's waiting for me. He wants to lather my body with oil and massage me before one of the biggest miles this year.
So yeah, we got pre happening on Saturday. It's kind of crept up in a way this year. And as per usual, bringing out the big guns, hunting some world records, crazy pacing, and we're very, very excited to have our member of the pod, Ollie, representing us once again out there in the Prefontaine mile. The Bauman mile, sorry.
This will be my 1, 2, 3. This will be my 4th Bauman mile.
For real?
Yeah.
It's good numbers.
I've been second. I've been at the back getting outleaned by George. I've been in different pre's, and I'm excited to come to the 50th pre-classic. And they've got new uniforms, George and Morgan, and I know you guys would love the new style that Nike's put in for these uniforms.
I'm gonna have to look these up.
Yeah, so my takeaway,
you guys talked about this before the pod. I'm gonna have to find out what's going on.
Morgan, give us your takeaway.
Take a squiz, and then I'd love to hear what you. I'm really disappointed in them because they're celebrating 50 years of it, and they just look slightly different from their Olympic champion kits or something. And I was like, you guys could make. And this is for the Nike athletes who are wearing this at the meet, all of them apparently. It's the 50th year of the pre-classic. Why would you not make like a really cool, like vintage Oregon Prefontaine inspired kit that's actually like different? The kit that they're wearing to me says nothing. But maybe I didn't look good enough at it.
Well, it tells me that they've just changed the colorway of the original kit. I was hoping that they would change the kit completely.
Is that actually what, it's just the normal kit, different color?
Yeah. I think from what I saw.
Can you find a visual?
Why can't I find this? What is it on?
It's on here because you guys. Well, I got followed by pre-classic recently because I'm.
Hey, congrats!
I'm a big dog.
Sinclair posted about it.
Sinclair Johnson was wearing it, and look, I think the athletes look great in it. The kit, I liked the kit a lot when it first came out, and then I started over time not liking it as much as other kits.
Is this their regular kit?
So the purple,
it's the Olympic champ kit.
So the kit that the kit that the way it's styled. I've got no George. I need your internet because my thing is not working. But
I got it.
Yeah, Morgan's got it.
Am I technologically challenged? Why can't I find this?
Wait, no, I don't.
It's because all your media is just all Western States. You've got all trail running on your algorithm now.
I should say
whatsoever.
Why would I not have it?
If this jersey sucks, and I don't want to give them too much credit.
Dude, maybe they have to
for
take
obvious
down the
reasons,
pictures.
But they should just be wearing that ACG shirt from Western States.
Bro, I thought that was sick. Did you like that or no?
It was funny. I'm super curious to see the sunburn.
I was going to say that surely after 14 hours, there's going to be a sunburn.
Because that thing was really sick.
Yeah, that was cool. I thought. But I mean, everyone, like, you had like, everyone's kits are pretty
Have you
cool.
found it?
No, it is.
Yeah, Ollie, does this exist?
I think they had to delete
it. Does exist. I saw it this morning. But I need your Wi-Fi, George.
Yeah, why we got kicked off your Wi-Fi, George?
On.
You guys have to.
We got new Wi-Fi, but just click on it's the same thing.
Can you find the pre-classic page?
Oh yeah, surely it's on the.
That's what I was on when I saw it.
Yeah.
I can't get on because I have no Wi-Fi, but it's on the pre-classic.
Seth, did you happen to see it?
No, I didn't see it. I'm curious to see what it is.
Yeah, the tension is.
They might have. If it's not there, they would have taken it down. But they definitely posted it.
Okay. Wait. It's like it's just the same jersey, but it's black.
Is it just like not impressive?
It's just black.
It's the same jersey, but they changed the colorway.
I want to hear what Seth has to say.
Instead of the normal one is orange, this one is.
You could
like
do so much cool stuff with a 50-year anniversary of a meet like that.
Well, a lot of the vintage black and gold.
Yeah. A lot of the vintage like stuff that when Pre was running that vintage kit that he used to wear, like the Oregon stuff. I'm surprised they didn't do something similar to that.
I fanboy so hard when the Oregon when the team wears their throwback kit.
Yeah, the throwback kit. I thought they might have done something similar to that. But it looks to me, it just tells me that Nike maybe ran out of time and just said, let's change the colorway. We're not going to change the design.
This blanket looks like a New Zealand thing. Like it looks like a silver fern thing.
Is that a pre-classic blanket?
Yeah. It's like
it's different,
black and white, and it's like a fern.
Yeah, so the kit's pretty uninspiring, huh?
It'll just
We'll see what it looks like on the track because it could look cool.
Maybe it will.
Not to diss them too much, but it's a different colorway to the original kit that they're wearing this year.
More importantly, Bauman mile.
Ollie,
race plan.
Race plan. Oh, you don't want to know about who's in the race?
Well, I want to hear from you mostly.
Let me just give you a rundown quickly because I do have to unfortunately dip out to get my treatment to get oiled up by Koki. But even though my mate Jingy is not in this race, I would say this is and we say this every year. I know we say this every year. It's probably the most stacked mile I'll ever be in. Looking at the entry lists, Yard and Goose 3:43.
Is Kermit the Josh in it?
Kermit the Josh is not confirmed in it as of yet. Cole Hocker, the Olympic champion, is in it. Hobbs is in it. Habs is in it. The Botswana guy is in it. Cameron Myers is in it. White Castle is in it. Gourley's in it. I think the average...
Fisher, right?
Fisher's in it. I think the average PB for this race is probably around 3:47, 3:48.
Crazy.
So that to me is insane because I've gotten second at pre-running 3:50 and now the average spread of these guys is 3:47, and it's probably going to be a race, honestly, the way the pacing's going, which George is very interested in because we know George loves paced races.
Hey, they've been great recently.
But the pacing is going to be 150 to the 809 meters.
Conservative.
That's a conservative pace. If you can even split that, you're running 3:40 for the mile.
Under.
Oh yeah, because it's 809.
Technically,
technically you're running under. But that's the pace that Dathan and Yard
is Faith
are going to request. Breaking 4.
What did they split?
She's in the back just chilling.
What did they split in 2023?
2023.
Was it 150 or 151?
151 to 152, I think. Because I'm pretty sure it's very even. From what Yara told me, it was very, very even. Because he felt that he was trying to close on Jakob, but Jakob just even paced it. Like, very, very even.
He closed back on him.
Yeah. For me, race plan-wise, the past 2 races I've had a lot of positives and negatives to come out of it. Rome, for me, felt very, very easy to run 3:31, but I was just out the back and then ran really fast last 300, felt pretty confident about that, and then went to Oslo, got in a good position, and then just kind of wasted my opportunity there. So for me, I want to get in a good position. It's going to be very hard to fight for position with such talented guys in this race, but I got to put myself.
If they go out on 150, it'll be a nice line.
It'll be
a nice line. It won't matter how far back you are if they're going out at 150.
Yeah. I think for me, I would like to be in a position maybe in the middle of the pack and then just really work on one of the strongest things about me as an athlete, I think, is my strength. A lot of the guys in this race are very strong, but I know what it feels like to run 3:29. I know what it feels like to run 3:47, but I've also know what it feels like to run with Yard Nagus in training. And I've done specific track work with him, and I felt very confident in it and felt very strong in it. I just want to go in fresh. That third lap's going to be crucial. If I just stay with it and really, really hang on, I think I can run under 3:47, which is my goal. I've got Cameron Mike Myers in the race, and he just ran 3:29.8. He's in great shape. He's a scary, scary man to race against right now. I'm calling him a man, even though he's, pubescent. But I know I want to try and break that record. I want to hold on to my Australian record. So that's the plan. Run as close as I can to the front and enjoy the crowd. Hopefully have a lot of hype there. I know Dathan's really looking forward to this race because our training's been great for me personally and for Yard. So we want to go in and try and compete with the best because we can. And we just got to believe that we can. So that's the whole battle.
It's inspiring.
So why is the pace 150? Let's talk about that.
The pace is 150 because if you have a pacer out in 150, then Yard would probably go through in 151, 151.5. And for him,
who's requesting the pace?
Yeah. So is it the pace is 150 because they're asking Yard and he wants the world record? Like, what's going on
There's
here?
other people requesting.
That's right.
It.
Yeah.
Oh, Yard's requested 150.
I think Yard's the one. Well, if anybody's going to request the pacing, it's the guy that's run 3:43. So,
or it'd be the Nike guy.
That's true.
Yeah, That's what I would think that
true.
I think that us the Olympic champ, but I could be wrong. I'm not running
They'll probably ask Cole, but I don't think Cole's going to stray away from that. I don't think
No, I don't think so either.
Cole's running a lot of tactical races, and we've seen what Cole can do when he runs fast. He can kick off a very fast pace. And if you have somebody like Yard, if I was Cole, I'd be like, well, I'll let him take a lot of the heat particularly in that third lap, and then I'm going to close down hard. That's what I would expect.
So Yared thinks he's in world record shape, huh?
Yared is in world record shape. Yeah. He's in world record shape. I watched him run 3:24 pace, average 1,500 meter workouts, and just walk it off. And I've been on the ground thinking like, wow, I was running 3:24 average pace. I was on the ground. He was walking it off going, where's my body armor? I do think it's going to be a very, very hard race, but the dude's more motivated than ever. I'm very motivated to run fast. I don't know what I'm going to run, but I do think I'm in better shape than when I was running 3:47 in Oslo. So the plan is just to no fear, go for it, don't even think, which I'm good at. I'm good at not thinking. I'm good at just going and running really hard and just I want to hurt. I want to feel the pain. I want to feel that taste in the back of your throat that you taste a bit of the iron. I want all that shit. I want all the smoke.
I'm scared.
And I think for me, Cole should be worried because I was doing neuromuscular with Yared, and we're doing 60 meter sprints, and I was beating Yared to the line. So I know for a fact that those 60 meters are so relevant and they matter so much to the Olympic champions run 2 seconds faster than me in the 1500. So I want all the smoke.
I believe.
I want all the smoke.
It's gonna be sick.
I just want a good race. I got London after that, which I won last year off a technicality.
No, you won.
But I love London, and I'm really looking forward to that 1500 in particular. But this mile, I really want to run under 3:47.
Is London 1 week later or more?
It's a couple of weeks later. It's the 19th of July, which will be nice because then I'll hopefully close on my house, and then I can move in, and then I can start my heat training, my Overwatch gameplay heat training. But so that's Bauman. I know Olivia's running the steeple, which is exciting. She's going to hopefully do really well there. Obviously, it's really nice to run at home in the US. And
is the meet in the afternoon on Saturday?
It's in the afternoon, yeah.
Okay.
I think we're around middle of the day.
Good conditions.
Early evening.
And there's no Friday session, or is it all on Saturday?
I think it's all on Saturday.
Yeah.
They're having the 10Ks in the middle of the day still.
Classic. So 10K is huge, crazy field.
For
it's the Kenyan Trials.
Mm-hmm.
So the 10K fields are crazy.
My prediction to win is the Kenyan Trials is Conor Mance.
Conor Mance. Dude, I think he's going to run such a quick 10K.
Honestly, I would see it.
I believe
as well.
I mean, I know it is something different running on the track compared to roads slightly, but the times that he's putting down on the roads right now, bro, I think he's going to run so fast.
And the pace is 13:20 or something?
Yeah, 25.
So 26:40? 13:15? Is it?
I could be wrong on
that. If he just dimes in, just like on the pacing and just stays, I reckon he could run so quick.
Yeah, and then I know in both the women's 15, I think it's a 15, not a mile.
15, world record attempt as well.
Going for the world record, and then in the 5K, they have, I believe, Beatrice going for the world record, but also, especially in the 5K, Beatrice has shown that she's kind of head and shoulders like on top right now, and especially when it comes to these world record paces. But there are actually a bunch of other people who I'm sure will go with them or will try to see how long they can last. So it's going to be epic.
It's going to be absolutely epic. But boys, I have to leave you. Seth Ruhling, lovely to meet you, mate.
Thank you.
Congratulations on the Western States. Geordie has really tried to educate me on trail running, and he is still trying. But I've gotten on my algorithm all about the trail running, and it does.
That's how you learn.
It's pretty. Honestly, it's pretty sick. It's
working.
It is working.
I've just been feeding it into your phone.
Yeah, it's literally the algorithm is just hearing me constantly. But boys,
whispers on your
hate
phone.
to leave early, but you'll love to see me go. So thanks very much, guys.
Good luck at Bowerman.
Thank you very much, bro.
Super stoked.
All right, guys.
Thank you, Ollie.
Bye-bye.
You guys don't want any dog treats?
I was going to ask. I was getting a little bit peckish, actually.
Morg does love a dog treat.
Yeah, maybe next
time. Does it say human grade?
They look pretty
They look pretty human grade.
They look just... Organic sweet potato, organic... I can eat that.
They're vegan.
Vegan.
That sounds like what Morg has for breakfast anyway.
That's just a good treat.
Yeah. Hey, there's no meat in them? Ah.
Wow. Amazing.
That's so Boulder to have a vegan.
Yeah, it really was. Bro. Amazing. So, yeah, Pre's going to be absolutely crazy. We'll be cheering Ollie on, and Olivia, and we'll be cheering for everyone out there because it's going to be so sick. Catch that on Saturday. But back to our man Seth and the trail stuff. I think we'll talk more about Western States specifically, but also I wanted to take a step back. Something that I think is really cool is that you do coach yourself, and you've gone about it, I think,
I didn't know that.
a little bit different. Dude, it's trail running is really cool because I think there's people who are more on the kind of just approach it from a more straightforward, where it's like, all right, let's try to run 100 plus miles a week and get on the trails and do all this. There's people who run less and are on the track trying to run faster. And it seems like you did some really cool periodization. And what's particularly cool was that for a good chunk of it, you were on the Norwegian double threshold train, no?
I tried, yeah.
Dude, take us through that.
I mean, okay, so like, probably any idea I have, I just rip off from other people. And I like, all my training is just like particularly when you guys were, or Morgan, you were training for the half marathon. Like I'd see some of your workouts and be like, oh, that's a good one. I'll do that next week or something. But no, I feel like trail running, there's so many variables. It's so different and the courses are different. It's like it's a little too complicated just to like for one thing to work for everybody. And I think I don't know. For me, I was like starting in last fall, I had done a trail race in Europe. I was getting like nuked by one of the best American trail runners, Hayden Hawks. And I was like, man, I'm just like not fit enough. So I was like, okay, I got to get fitter. And I don't know. It just seemed like threshold was the way to go. So I did.
Well, yeah. What did you specifically do?
All fall, I was just doing like I was doing 2 threshold sessions a week, like lactate monitor and everything on the treadmill. Classic like OAC Europe, like 4 by 8 minutes or like, I don't know, 3 by 2 miles or whatever.
2.0?
Like,
2.0 lactate or what?
Yeah, no, I was probably like around 2.5.
Okay. Wait, were you doing like double threshold days?
No, just
single
just
days.
2 a week.
2 a week, 2
Okay.
days a week, 1 threshold.
Okay.
On the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just like, I think it just made sense as a way to get fitter.
Yeah.
And then,
Yeah. How'd you see like your progression during that time?
I mean,
Did you end up running faster by the end of the fall? Like at the same?
not particularly faster, but I think the one thing with trail, maybe a little faster, but the one thing with trail is like, that's never inherently the point. It's always, the point is just to like go further.
Yeah.
So I was doing like, I don't know, by the end of it, like, I don't know, 10 miles of work at like, I don't know, 2.5 lactate, which just felt good.
That's really quality.
So, and that felt like that set me up for Black Canyon 100K, where like I had a threshold block in the fall, December, January, like transition that into like 3 long runs a week, which are like 20 to 28.
3 long runs a week.
miles at each run.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Do you hit threshold in those, or you try to stay away? You try to keep it at a below threshold.
I just run.
Just
yeah,
run.
just
I love
run.
it.
I feel
Just
like
off vibes?
Yeah, just off vibes. I feel like trail.
How do you do long runs in the winter here?
A lot of up left-hand canyon actually.
Really?
Yeah, because it's like plowed real nice.
Yeah,
So
true.
kind of, but then instead of stopping up there, run down. But and then also it wasn't too bad of a winter, so
Yeah,
I feel like
it
I was
really
able to
wasn't.
get some climbing and stuff. But dude, no, but and then for this, so that was all before Black Canyon, and then after Black Canyon, started over again with like a threshold block, and I tried double threshold, and I don't think I was like,
What happened?
I wasn't recovering quite as well as I would have liked.
What did your days look like?
I can't remember exactly what I was doing, but I think like probably one of the last ones I did, it was like 4 by 8 minutes in the morning, kind of classic. And then I was doing like 4 or 5 by 6 minute hills in the evening.
Wait, 6-minute hills.
Yeah. Like threshold, just like
Yeah.
up a long climb.
I love it.
But I was just, I don't know. The double threshold, I think, cooked me. And also, to be fair, like, I was not checking my lactate on the trails. It's like, I don't know, you kind of ridiculous to like stop and pull out the lactate monitor. So I think I was probably going a little too hard.
Yeah, I think if you did a 5-minute hill, I think your lactate would probably spike really high. I could be
Yeah.
wrong.
I thought you'd have to run so slow.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not fast. Like, it starts
Yeah.
off super slow.
Yeah.
But yeah, so try the double threshold, didn't quite work, and then just went back.
You
to
felt
single
just too
threshold.
tired the next day or whatever.
Yeah, and then mixing that in with like long runs, and like I work like a normal job, so mixing that into work, it was like just a little too much, I think. So
I like that. I like the way you think about it and your approach, though.
Yeah.
Is that how do the Boulder boys all train together? Like,
No,
who
pretty
coaches
rarely.
who coaches the rest of them?
We're just a think tank.
Really?
Yeah. Honestly, for the most part, like, well, we all have different strengths. Like, I am probably better at the threshold type stuff, and like, we have a guy, Matt Daniels, who's ran sub 4 minutes for the mile back in college, and like, so he's like a little faster than most of us. Some guys are good at climbing, so it just kind of, I don't know. We all like add our thing, but we actually don't run together like all that much. Like maybe once or twice a week, just because we're
just schedules and stuff.
Schedules we're working. 2 of the guys are parents. Like 3 of them work for tech startups, so they're all pretty busy.
Yeah, that makes
Fair
sense.
enough.
I guess. Wow. So you think like, I guess you're always going to be dialing it in, but you think that's kind of like your recipe that you would try to follow, like a threshold block going into a more specific block, leading into races?
I think so. I think for states, I think I might have been like a little undertrained from like a mileage standpoint. Not even like weekly mileage, because I feel like weekly mileage for trail running doesn't matter as much. Like you guys are like, I don't know, probably running like 12 to 15 miles every day.
Something like that.
Yeah. Like,
Ish.
like
Yeah,
every day
maybe.
is kind of the same mileage. Where I feel like in trail running, like we don't get, most trail runners don't actually run that many more miles than like a 5K or a marathon. It's just distributed differently.
Really big days and
really
small
big days,
days.
and then you're just like toast.
Yeah.
For the next day. So I think I don't know. I only did 1 week, maybe 2 weeks, where I did like 4 long runs a week, and I feel
4
like
long runs in 1 week.
Yeah.
How are you recovering from that?
I think the other days were like 5 milers.
Yeah.
So
Still.
yeah, it was.
Do you just have to get to the point where a long run is not that hard though?
Yeah, for sure. Like I mean, everybody's been there. Like the first time you run 10 miles, you're like, oh my goodness, it's terrible.
Your body
and
adapts.
then now 10 miles is like the easy run. Like you have to get to the place where it's like, okay, 20 miles is like no big deal.
Yeah.
And then I don't know, anything over that still feels hard though. Like 21 miles is ridiculous compared to 20. But
what are your carb goals on those days and in the race?
In theory, like 90 grams of carbs an hour. I'm like a reasonable carbohydrate an hour guy.
Not excessive.
Not excessive. And honestly, like I work with the dietitian, and he, I don't know, like your body only really oxidizes like 70 grams an hour anyway. So I was
That's
trying
what
to
they
go,
say.
That's what they say.
I'm trying to.
Yeah. Honestly, just like 90. I think for states specifically.
Yeah. Did you get in 90 for 15 hours?
Not. No, I vomited a bunch at mile 42. And
that's not very far in.
That's not very far in. So after that, it was just, dude, I was just feathering like everything. Like it was like slow sipping on like a gel.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't like vomit again, or like, I honestly just lived off the aid station. Like they had like some super watered down like Gatorade, and I was just going off that. Like, I don't know. I think it's one, I don't know. It's just one of those things like, and Killian talks about this a lot too. Like high carb is really important, but particularly for ultras, it's good to also like train with nothing sometimes, just so you're like, when something like that happens, like when you vomit 40 miles into a 100 miler, it's like
you're a little bit prepared.
Yeah, no big deal. Like I can run on empty for a good bit, because you got to let the stomach rest. So it was like probably an hour of just nothing until, yeah.
That makes sense. And then you just talked about before how you ended up eating like potato chips, which I get, because I was doing a few longer bike rides when I was back home.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing close to a 14-hour effort, but even that, like, because I do try pump the gels and stuff, you get sick of them pretty quick, and you definitely crave something like salty. So I would like snack on like chips and stuff as well.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, dude, if somebody could come out with like a properly salty gel,
yeah,
I think it would go down so well. And I remember like Cliff Bar, I don't know if you guys were in vogue to this, but Cliff Bar tried, they had like a pizza gel.
Really?
Back in the day.
I feel like Goo has a
disgusting.
salted caramel or something.
They do.
That must be so
Have you
sweet
had it, though?
still. Yeah, no.
Okay.
It's
Is it not good?
it's
You
more-
just give it a try.
Okay.
Tell me if it tastes like salted caramel.
Okay. I'll do a taste test.
All right.
Fair.
What else do they have at the aid stations? Do they just have? They have a bunch of like normal
Pizza?
food, right?
Yeah, I don't remember. I'm sure they do. They probably have like bananas, fruit, chips. I honestly couldn't tell you. I just like
How long were you stopping for?
like 20 seconds or less.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How
But
many-
just to fill
That
up,
seems crazy.
fill up ice. And,
How many toilet breaks did you take during the race?
oh, like I mean, I don't know, not that many.
Okay,
But I
fair.
did. Yeah, I did.
I
Did
asked
you just
the,
absorb all the
happens.
liquid?
I asked the question in the stream if everyone takes breaks together. No one responded to me because you know how in like a
On
cycling,
the Western States stream?
Yeah, I asked the
Yeah.
question like because you know how in a cycling race everyone takes breaks together generally.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was wondering if there was
I was
some
watching
sort of-
Chris's interview, the guy who came second, and he was saying when he and Caleb were at the front, like running together at, I don't know, kind of far in, I guess, when it was only them two, he stopped for a pee break. And then he was like, yeah, and I never saw Caleb again for the rest of the day. Like that was it.
Dude, you got to take the breaks where you can. You
Yeah.
know, I think.
You need to pee on the run somehow.
Yeah.
You need like some.
I mean, some
I don't-
people do. and
Really?
They won't tell you about it. They're just running and peeing in front of you.
I don't think it's
You're like,
possible.
why am I getting wet?
oh,
kidding me?
that's gross.
Why am I getting?
But no, it's everybody, like, if you have to pee, you're just hoping somebody else has to pee too and like stops before you.
Yeah.
So like there was a point early in the race, like I stopped to pee and everybody's like, thank God, like and like probably like 5
So
or
you guys
6
do
of us
pee
stopped.
together.
Yeah,
Awesome.
if you can, but you know, obviously you don't have to pee. That's like a prime time to get a little gap.
Make a move.
Yeah.
Maybe one day I'll get
Attack.
to more like because in cycling it's like a gentleman's
Yeah,
agreement
but
essentially.
in cycling, I think it's only the yellow jersey.
Can
Like
decide
when
that.
the yellow jersey
Yeah, the leader,
stops.
the race leader.
Yeah.
Well, and obviously, like, there's like, I mean, cycling's so different, so it is hard to directly compare. But it's not like if you take a pee break in the last like 20K of a race, it's not like anyone's stopping with you. You know, it's
Yeah,
only
sure.
when everyone's chilling,
Yeah.
It's a good point.
which you're not really ever chilling in the same way. Well, yeah, you're literally not ever chilling in the same way in a running race. Like they are able to chill in a biking race.
Yeah.
You can't just ever like come off the pedals.
Yeah,
And-
like
and-
100 watts. You're just putting like
Yeah.
100 watts,
Yeah.
and you're just
True.
The
sitting-
downhills are actually
on.
worse. Like,
Dude.
probably-
Yeah, the truth.
Amazing.
You can't just roll the downhills.
Yeah. So back to what like Western specifically, 6th place, first 100. Like it's amazing. Was that? I know you were pretty confident going into it. How did the race results align with your goals?
I don't know. It's weird. Like, I'm sure this happens to you guys. Like, the placing, 6th place is sick. Like when I finished, I mean, I didn't even care what place I got when I finished. I was just happy to be done. But it's I feel like it was pretty. It's definitely more than I deserved on the day. Like I had like quite a bit of problems like with my stomach and stuff. So I feel like considering everything, I'm like I can't believe I got 6th. But definitely going into the race, I was like, I don't know if I definitely wasn't a favorite. I definitely didn't like inherently think I would win or anything, but knowing in running with the guys that or like Chris lives in Boulder, running with him every once in a while, like I was like, I think I can do what Chris did, you know.
Totally.
But it's like, I don't know, 6 is sick, and I don't know, I can't be too upset. I was hoping though, like, because 6 gets you an automatic entry, like top 10 gets you automatically back in for the next year.
That's nice.
And I was hoping to do well enough that I didn't have to go back. You know, like I feel like if you win or you get your podium, you're kind of like, I'll just leave
I've
that
done it.
there. Yeah, I've
Tick
done
that
it.
one
I'll
off.
just leave it there. But 6th place, particularly like how I got 6th, it was kind of like,
now I got to come
I gotta
back and
go
do
back.
better.
Yeah. Which like halfway through the race, I was like, I'm never doing this again. Like I hated what it was doing to my body. Like my knees hurt. Like everything just felt like I was aging too fast. I was like, I hate
What
this.
trail races feel good though?
Oh, like I mean, at this point, 50Ks feel pretty good. But you're right. None of them feel great. But particularly 100 miles, it's like, I don't know.
What's the dream distance to continue doing?
I love 50K,
Yeah.
but it's getting well, I don't know. 50K is pretty sweet, but it's hard to really make a career out of 50Ks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to ask. Like, does 6th place at Western States, does that change your life in any way?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, for sure. Like
Sweet.
in some way. I mean, like, I don't know. I feel like my first at Black Canyon changed my life in like a big way.
Yeah.
And then I think 6th place is like the compensation from that is pretty good, but then also like the ability to get more sponsors is pretty easy. So
Yeah.
That's good to know in trail running that's...
Yeah, I'm trying to understand this shit. Like, it's so hard to understand. Like, we established that Western is the biggest in America. Is it the biggest in the world or no?
If you won like 60
Is
UTMB,
bigger?
60 UTMB would be nuts too.
Really?
So from a
Is UTMB the biggest?
UTMB is the biggest for sure. Yeah, there's.
I was
more
saying that on the
people.
podcast last week that I was trying to decide, and
It seems like
I
it
was
is.
trying to tell the listeners to tell me.
Yeah.
Like I wanted to know.
Dude, like if On ever gets you guys or like lets you guys go out to UTMB, it's nuts.
I've heard it's.
I
Like,
would love to
it
go.
I guess
feels
it's a bit more historic, no? I mean, maybe Western States is a
Western
different
States
type
is more historic
it's more
for sure,
historic,
but
really.
UTMB is like it's France. It's like put on like the Tour de France. Like the fans are crazy. And like
So you're gonna
The
do it?
visuals are crazy.
the what?
Like the visuals.
Oh, the visuals are nuts.
Like,
Yeah,
yeah, spectacular.
dude, I can't imagine it. No, I mean maybe one day. I've done CCC, which is the 100K out there,
Yeah.
which is like also kind of a big deal. But dude, I can't imagine staying up like through the night. Like 15 hours is long enough. Like
What does it take? How long does the winner run UTMB?
usually right under 20.
Jeez.
Under 20, and it starts at
It starts
basically
at
sunset, right?
It starts at 6 p.m. the night before.
That's wild.
It's the
That's
worst.
Fucking
And
crazy.
you have to, isn't there a lot for that race specifically? There's a lot more like kind of regulations on you have to carry stuff. A certain amount of
Oh
stuff.
yeah, you're not
It's
allowed to, like,
ridiculous.
you were just talking about swapping your packs. Like, aren't you not allowed to do that?
Nope,
UTMB.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, you guys know a lot. Yeah,
we're trying. We're trying.
yeah. UTMB is ridiculous. Like I think, though, like most people, their pack weighs like 5 pounds.
Whoa, that's different.
It's like quite a bit, and then that's like not without that's like without the food. That's
Do
just
they
with the
regulate you
required
have
gear.
to carry certain things?
Yeah,
Like safety stuff.
and it's like safety stuff, and like the stuff is weight regulated for the most part. It's like your jacket has to be over 100 grams, like
What?
stuff like that. I don't.
What? Over? Why would?
Yeah.
Why would? It have
Maybe
to-
it's 90 grams, but it's like it has to be over a certain amount. The waterproofness has to be this amount,
Whoa.
and they check it like throughout the race.
Wow.
Particularly if you're like before the like UTMB specifically, like right before it gets dark, they like make sure you have like 2 headlamps and batteries, which is like
Yeah.
I don't know. It's
Good
just,
safety
it's
stuff.
is
but
it
it's
way-
super hard to
important
consider?
for-
Is it way harder because it goes through the night, or like the terrain is just way harder? Like it's way steeper, right?
Yeah,
And-
yeah. It's definitely a much bigger course. Like everything about it, and it's 109 miles.
Ye-
So it's
Yeah,
like
that's
an
fucking
extra,
long.
almost like an extra 10. But yeah, everything's bigger. Like the climbs are huge. Like States has some big climbs, but they're all pretty runnable, and it's like net downhill. I don't know. UTMB is just. I'd say for me the hardest part would be probably running through the night. I try to do an 80 miler, 120K. I don't know how long that is. That started at midnight, and I like could not wake up. So
Damn. So what's the big goal then in trail running? Like what's the pinnacle for you? Like what do you want to win? Or what do you wanna-
States would be it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like States.
Really?
Now that I did States, it's like States. If winning States would be sick, for sure. Especially as an American and as like, I don't know, like I am a huge track fan and like huge fan of just running. And I feel like States is like probably the biggest ultra, and it feels like the most aligned with what I actually like doing, which is just running. So yeah, winning States would be crazy. I don't know.
Damn.
Sick.
So you'll probably go back next year.
Unfortunately. Yeah.
And then you'll kind of, so you'll plan, I mean, I guess this is already what you probably did this year, but like you'll plan your whole season around like, that's the big goal.
Yeah, for sure. And like, I don't know. The only reason like I'm bummed about going back is it's the time of year, it ruins your whole summer.
Yeah.
Like all before, because like trail running's sick because you can just go run around in the mountains and train. But for States, it's like the mountains have snow on them when you're training hard. And then by the time, like now it's like I'm going to be cooked for a month. So I can't go run
Yeah.
around in the mountains. So,
That's like, we kind of have a different version of that here in Boulder being track people. And that's, moving to Boulder. Obviously one of the things that you hear all the time about is like running mags and stuff or doing long runs up in Rollinsville. And they're some of the most special runs you can do. But for us, and if you're in college, you can do it well because it works really well with your summer training as well, your base training. But for us, because of our season, we don't get into our base training more until really like November when we're hitting it hard. And by then, it's like too cold up there and it just doesn't make sense. So
the best time of year is like September, October, and then we're not even training.
So we get screwed. We don't get to do all these historic long runs.
Dude, that is a bummer.
You do those type of runs?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, Toland. I don't like mags actually.
Yeah, what's your favorite run in Boulder? What's the best loop?
What's the best loop?
Can you?
I mean, dude, the best loop in the summer is the Pawnee Buchanan loop up from Brainerd. Have you guys been to Brainerd Lake?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Have you?
Not sure.
It's like above Ward, like past peak to peak.
Wait, you haven't been? How long have you been in Boulder?
Long enough. I should have.
I've only been like twice.
Dude, you would be if you came and like saw our lives, especially like with our whole team. Yeah. We don't do much Colorado things.
We really don't.
Yeah.
That's dude. Wait, is this okay? Carry on about your favorite loop, but then also, what are some recommendations for trail runs we could do that aren't super hilly?
Oh yeah,
that aren't hilly.
Yeah. Like can we like a kind of flat one?
El Dorado Canyon.
Yeah, the Lobo Trail.
The Lobo
Trail. I mean, dude, Pawnee Buchanan's sick. It's just it's a loop, goes either clockwise or counterclockwise.
That's just how loops often work.
That's true. That's true. The normal way to do it is counterclockwise, which is opposite of. It's actually Buchanan Pawnee if you do it that way. But it's just sick. It's like all above like 10,000 feet, big climbs, like.
I see you lost me.
I love it.
Yeah.
How far is it?
It's 26 miles.
Yeah, that as well.
Yeah,
that's a deal breaker.
But
I feel like Jenna has talked about this. My girlfriend does a little bit of trail running, and she goes to Brainerd a lot.
Oh, really?
I feel like I've heard her talk about a loop up there.
Or honestly, like if y'all, I don't know, you guys have an off season.
Yeah,
Ish.
We don't spend it here in Boulder generally, though.
Yeah,
I also don't.
You also don't need.
I also don't normally do 26 miles in my off season.
We could. Yeah.
But dude, if you just go up to Brainerd and run Audubon Peak, it's like 9 miles out and back.
Cool.
It's like, yeah.
What about? Do you ever do the one that is all like from around here? That's like the peaks.
The Skyline Traverse.
Oh, Skyline.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that's like we run those trails so much.
Yeah, so it's just
that's just the easy running.
It's not special.
I mean, we don't. I don't think. I've never like officially done the Skyline Traverse, but it's like you run that trail in different variations so much. It's kind of cooked.
I would get into it, man. I did Lion's Lair, which is like 5 miles.
Oh, dude, Lion's Lair is sick.
I love because you get a nice view.
Yeah,
and it's so easy to get to.
Yeah, that's like the daily driver. For
really?
Sure. Yeah,
and you can probably connect to so much other stuff around there.
Yeah. Lion's Lair. You can there's like a shortcut that goes through a subdivision.
Yeah,
there's some trails over there.
Yeah.
But, yeah, Lion's Lair, I mean...
Flattest trail, though. Or flattest trail running trail. Is there anything?
Yeah, I mean, that stuff, Dowdy Draw over by Aldo.
Sure.
Yeah.
That stuff's sick as well.
Wait, have you guys been on
that stuff is so... That stuff gets fucking hot in the summer, though. Yeah. It's like so exposed over there.
Have you guys been on... Then it's new North Sky? You guys probably have.
From like Wonderland, right? Isn't it like...
It's North Boulder. It's actually, you could just run from here. It's probably a mile from here.
Yeah. Jenna keeps telling me about it.
Yeah.
What does it connect?
Isn't it like from Wonderland, like across the foot? Like, isn't it like parallel to like 36?
Like towards
It's
Nebo?
parallel to 36, but on the west side.
Yeah. Like on the foothill side.
Yeah.
Oh,
and it
silly.
connects to Yoder, which Yoder goes over to, I don't know.
You're saying a bunch of words that mean nothing to us.
This is gonna get.
We know Lobo and Tom Watson.
We're gonna talk our language, Nebo.
Monarch.
Dude, now we have a sick trail shoe that makes you want to do it more too.
Dude, I got that. It's amazing. Well,
have you run
everyone
it?
on our team got it. Okay, I have a bit of a gripe. I got flamed, not flamed, for like starting to do some long runs in super shoes.
Yeah, you kind of did.
And they were like, "Why are you doing that?" And then. Now it's like, now that we have a trail shoe that's so fat and it's just full of super foam, everyone's like, oh, this is a good long run shoe. It's like, how's that any different from our other super shoe? I think it's even fatter, if anything. Like,
isn't it technically a trail super shoe?
It is.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. And so I don't know why that is more acceptable to do a long run in that shoe.
Because it has the word trail at the front of it.
Yeah. Shouldn't that make it less acceptable? Like, how's that any more acceptable?
I think it's less stiff. I do. That's fractionally.
But like, does that matter?
I'm agreeing.
Does that matter?
I'm agreeing. You have a good point.
Because I was getting flamed for that. Because I was like, I mean, it's a long run, so it's like a hard run on your body, right? Like, you want to wear super shoes to lessen that. I'm sorry, that's a bit of a rant.
I don't know.
Probably not the place for that rant.
Yeah.
It sounds like
fair.
you sounds like you gave in to peer pressure and stopped wearing super shoes.
Well, I actually don't think it's the smartest idea in every scenario. But coming at that time, in that context, when I was coming back and I felt like the long run was like a bit more taxing on my body compared to the other stuff, I just wanted to lessen it. I think if you're, let's say you're Joe, the long run's like really important and you are pushing it on the long run, I think definitely wear a super shoe. But
do you not think a super shoe like can hurt you in other ways?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying,
Okay.
yeah, I don't think you should be wearing it all the time.
Okay.
How often do you wear a super shoe?
I mean, like,
do they even
like
count in
never.
trail?
The North Face makes a super shoe.
A trail super shoe.
A trail super shoe.
Do they make a road one?
No.
No. That makes sense.
Well, actually, there's like a offshoot in Japan that makes a road one.
That's sick.
What does that mean?
You can't get. I don't know. I don't quite understand the Japanese market, but apparently it's the North
Dude,
Face. But
they got
different.
some sick North Face stuff there.
So good.
Oh.
I can't get any of it.
Really?
Yeah,
Gotta
I have
go
to, like,
do a trail race
have
in
to
Japan.
go to Japan.
I don't think they have trails there. I don't know.
They do.
They have mountains.
There's one that goes around Mount Fuji.
Oh,
Yeah, dude.
Special.
Honestly, when you guys like get into the trail scene in probably like 10 years or something, or hopefully sooner. I don't know.
we'll see.
I don't know.
I would love to.
Yeah, that's a bucket list one in Japan.
I would love to, but like my thing is like, why does it have to be 100 miles? Why can't this is kind of already what you were saying. It's like, why does the most prestigious race have to be 100 miles? Why can't the most prestigious race be a trail race that's like 20 miles and we're trying to run a bit faster?
I mean, it could be. Have you guys watched Golden Trail? Like the short distance stuff?
No.
Okay, yeah.
So it does exist?
Yeah, it does exist.
But then
It's not so
okay.
popular and it's kind of...
I don't love
know.
the ones as well. I don't know if this is Golden Trail or something different, where it's just like all about the vert.
Yeah, that's
Golden Trail? Yeah, I don't really love that as much either, where it's like, just
want
run
a
up this
flat-
mountain.
A flat trail race.
No, I want a mix.
Okay.
I want like I imagine the first 20 miles or any 20 mile section of Western States. I don't know if that's it. I didn't watch the whole race, so I don't know.
I mean, Western States is actually like pretty technical. I was shocked. But I also said that when I got into trail running, I was like, this is stupid. Like, why does it have to be 100 miles?
Yeah.
And then you do, or like now, I don't know, a few days removed from Western States, I'm like, no, I kind of get it. This is it,
So once we get into
It's not
then
even
we'll
that
understand.
bad. Like, you just...
It's not that bad.
What do you
Okay.
mean? You were just saying how you didn't want to do it ever again.
Well,
at some point.
I didn't. But mentally, it's not that bad, dude. You're just like chilling.
I don't agree.
I don't know.
I don't believe you.
I don't know. It just feels like a blur.
You'll have to do it and
Yeah.
then decide.
Yeah.
Yeah, but back to Western States and the viewing experience.
Yeah.
How much of the stream did you end up catching, George? Was it good timing for
Like
you?
kind of a lot. I mean, I had it on in the background a lot of the time.
Dude, because this is part of my thing. I was, in terms of thinking about it's the future, it felt much more like watching like a Tour de France stage.
I
where it's
kind of
like-
had it. I like having something on in the morning when I'm having a coffee, like some version of sport on in the morning.
Dude.
It's so good.
I think it could be the future because you can just have it on for a long time and you can be checking in and something like nothing really has to be happening and it's still kind of entertaining and then amazing things happen and it's just really cool. And I was lucky because I got to watch the start, which is obviously a cool moment to watch. And then I went to sleep and then woke up when the race was at about 60 miles, I think, Forest Hill or whatever.
Yeah.
So
Forest Hill's a good time to wake up.
So then I got to watch a bit when I woke up. Then I went and did my session, and then I came back for like the last 30 minutes of the winner.
Yeah,
That's a good way to watch.
Like, and
That
I
was
was
a good
like,
way.
this is a great experience.
yeah.
Dude, there was 45K people concurrently watching it at the finish.
That's fucking impressive.
That's
eh?
a lot of people, man.
They
That's
They
impressive.
said like 1.2 million people were streaming at any
Dude.
given time.
So it's
Wow.
fucking big.
Yeah.
Even though it's not in our world.
Is there any scenario where there could be a stage trail race?
They have them.
Really?
Yeah, they do.
Your body just
Yeah,
break
it's
down.
Like
pretty
consider Western.
brutal.
It's like you run like 20 miles of Western States like every day or
Just
something.
breaking up across 5 days.
Yeah. I mean,
It'd be cool.
No, it's pretty. Yeah, it'd be terrible.
It'd be
It'd be terrible.
But no,
But
they definitely have some stage races. I don't think they.
I cannot
really
imagine
caught
what that
on
would
yet.
do to your
yeah.
body.
Yeah, be
Like-
miserable.
Because you just wouldn't be able to recover at all.
Yeah, but dude, I feel like the big thing was like from a viewing standpoint, because I'm also a fan and I watch these things similar to like track or whatever. It's like if you have somebody to root for, makes it super interesting.
Totally.
Like the
Storylines are amazing. And I don't know about every single, but like every single trailer on it, it seems like they do a good job having camera crew like trying to tell those stories,
100%. It's just like a different, like the outdoor space is kind of different for that, where like you're sponsored, but you're only sponsored for like mainly media standpoint. Like, look, think of a climber. It's like the climbers don't really like big time climbers. Alex Honnold, these people, like they don't really compete. So there's no competition. It's all about like the media that can be created about them.
Yeah.
So I feel like the outdoor space, like particularly like me with the North Face or even Nike out there, like they did such a good job at hiring like, I don't know, 2 or 3 people. Like for me, I had like 4 camera people just for me. And it was
the North Face.
From the North Face. And it was like, I don't know. It's like the whole end goal for them is to create content out of it. It's like,
which makes
sense.
sense.
Pretty
the
sweet.
result is
Yeah.
like, the result is almost
it makes sense. And I think running, like in our more like track pro running world, we're in a time period where they're figuring out the kinks of that, from going from a more performance-based model to a more content type thing. And I don't know if you remember this, George. I think we've talked about this once before, about that it makes more sense to do it like that, because I think a climber is a great example, because you think about a climber who's sponsored, their goal is to make the coolest film possible, like, or the
100%.
coolest YouTube video possible. Like it could be 15 minutes, it could be 1 hour. That's their goal. And at the end of the day, like that can be so impactful and be such good value for the brand. So bringing that into the trail world, it's like no brainer.
Yeah. And it kind of feeds itself, right? Because like, I mean, you guys did it for yourselves, where it's like, you guys created this podcast. People are now fans of you. Now, whenever like, I don't know, George goes races a steeple,
definitely makes a difference.
You're like, I'm going to go watch the steeple. Like, I don't know. You're like glued into it.
Yeah.
Because you have somebody you're rooting for. I don't know.
That's
I feel
true.
like,
I mean, we've talked about that with even like Lachlan Morton, who's still like, he still rides for EF.
Yeah.
And maybe he did used to ride like on the team when they had like full team racing, and he still competes a little bit now.
Yeah.
But more, they're just paying him to like do cool shit. Like he just does.
It was probably like
makes stories and does adventures.
It's probably a weird transition initially. Initially they're like, no, like doesn't make sense. And then now I think for most people that are fans, he's generating more fandom than
for sure
almost all of the pro cyclists.
Like I'm sure EF just realized, they're like, fuck, we could just like, he's our most popular rider probably.
Also, if you watch the tour, EF isn't even on the screen half the time.
Yeah.
But everyone knows him.
Yeah.
Just for
it's a bit
doing
more of a
cool
competitive
shit.
space out there.
Yeah.
At the tour.
Yeah.
I mean, no shit. EF is a very good team and they do cool shit. You don't like them?
I know they're my favorite team. I just
But they actually at the tour, they do okay. The Nilsson, the American, what's his name?
Oh,
Nilsson Powers has got real good.
Yeah, they got some good stream time. Don't they have Carapaz?
Isn't Richie on the team?
Yeah.
Carapaz, he was just fighting in the Giro.
Yeah, they've been better as of late,
some.
which has been nice, but
they have
it's been tough.
They did have a couple of years where they like, didn't they think they were going under?
Probably.
Like they were going to lose their sponsors?
Yeah, that did
Probably.
happen.
It's so
but I think they rallied.
Man.
They must have rallied. Maybe Lachlan Morton helped.
He floated them for a couple of years.
Yeah. The funniest thing with Lachlan, I don't know if the fans even, y'all should watch his videos. Like people would rather watch Lachlan like rummage around a gas station for
that's the content.
For milk than like watch a bike race.
Yeah, and there's something to be said about that. I don't know what it is, but like there's something about that.
No, it's just
that exists in the trail world. I mean, it exists in our world as well. It's just the content isn't as logical as to how you would create it. For you guys, it makes way more sense, and also would make way more sense for like a good marathoner, where it's really about one event, and you can create so much content, storyline wise. Like for us, obviously, that event I guess would be World Champs, Olympics, but like no one really does it that well in terms of creating content, because it's just different. Like we're so focused on other stuff.
Well, I feel like On does a pretty good job with you guys.
Like, I mean, On
somebody's
does
there taking
cool
photos
stuff
for you guys, and
that's
where it doesn't make sense to me when like a brand. This happens in trail running, and honestly happened to me until late. Like they're paying you to like go run, but you only race like once or twice a year.
Yeah,
and it's like, well, why not pay somebody to make content? Like I don't know, use me throughout the year other than these.
It's just
1 or 2 races.
I think I don't know, who knows, maybe we'll be looking back in 10 years and all these kinks will be more worked out. It's just a transition phase probably.
That's fair.
So we'll see.
So is that what it feels like? I don't know if people are wondering what a trail contract, like, does it feel like your contract is part performance incentive or like media? Like, is that like, what does it feel like the North Face wants from you?
Oh, it's different for everybody.
Yeah.
The North Face, I mean, it's still performance.
They still want you to win races, obviously.
Yeah, because I mean, like y'all know who Jim Walmsley is and Killian. You know, it's like
that's true
because they're good. Like,
and I will say they're probably more famous than like Killian, especially than almost every track runner.
Yeah, I mean,
I think Killian's. I don't know how many. He's probably got a million followers, right?
Yeah. I mean, but Killian transcends like.
Yeah, he's hard.
He's done stuff.
He's like the Usain Bolt of the trail world, so it is hard to compare 100%. To him.
But like, I don't know. Jim has probably single-handedly sold more Hoka shoes than any Hoka Roadrunner. And it's like his social media is pretty minimal. The content's like pretty minimal. It's just like he's so good and he wins races. So I think for us, it's still like about performance, which is like the whole reason I'm not an influencer. I actually
not yet.
I hate making YouTube videos. Like I don't do it. Somebody else makes them for me. But
good way to do it.
It's a good way to do it. But yeah, so it's still performance based. But I think North Face specifically, we do have a decent bit of incentives for viewership on like YouTube and stuff. And I think that kind of comes in from the climbing side of the brand. It's definitely different being with the North Face because the marketing team very in touch with climbing, very in touch with snow, very confused with trail running. And then like my direct manager is kind of like, I feel like half of her job is just bridging that like the knowledge gap between like, sports marketing.
Nice.
And trail running.
I think all companies have people in those roles.
Yeah.
It's like,
I don't know how to
just explain it, just making it make sense to everyone.
100%. So
communicating.
But I think I don't know what a normal running contract looks like, but it's probably not so far off.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
It's cool. We did reach out to the Instagram and we do have some Q&A. Maybe we'll do a little lightning rapid fire session. Round. Sound good?
Yeah.
All right. First question. How many MRIs have you had?
2.
2?
2 in my whole life.
It's a good number. Yes. Keep them there.
Dude, I feel like an MRI, by the time I get an MRI done and it gets red, I'm healed. So I stopped getting them. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. That's what George was trying to go for, I think.
Yeah.
I listened to the pod last week and you're like, yeah, it's been hurting for this long, so it's probably like already better actually. It's like that's a good method. What was the biggest challenge on the course? Heat, nutrition, physical, mental? Question mark.
The biggest challenge was just nutrition, keeping it down. Throwing up ruins the race normally.
Is that something that you've faced before? Or is that a new challenge?
That was kind of new.
Is that because of the heat? Why are you throwing up?
Kind of because like normally I would think because of heat, but it wasn't hot at that point. I don't know. I think I was just trying to do too much. Just too much.
Yeah.
For too long. So
makes sense. Trying to do something that your body should not be doing.
Yeah, exactly.
Lots of questions about your hair and relation to Ollie's hair.
No relation, but
you got that done just for the race, didn't you?
Just for the race.
Because I feel like I saw pictures of you and like none died, and then it's just you turned up. Amazing.
Yeah, it was a last minute thing, like right before we flew.
Do you do it yourself?
My wife.
Nice.
My wife did it. So
amazing.
That's much more economically sound than Ollie's.
This is true. No comment. What's going through your mind at mile 80?
Dude, a whole lot of mush. Not a lot of thinking. Just trying to. I do remember mile 80 because I think that was right after.
Isn't that right after the river?
Right.
Isn't the river 78 or something?
Yeah, dude. At mile 80, I thought I could still catch people, so I was just like trying to keep the legs moving.
The river revived you.
Does
the river feel good?
Yeah. It's not. It wasn't as cold as I wish. Was the kicker? I missed beef on the one because there's an aid station right before the river. And people were getting ice there, and I was like, my whole plan, I was like, I'm going to breeze through that aid station because I'm going to get in the water. And it just wasn't that cold.
What a letdown. In what race distance would you be equal to Jingy?
Oh, man. I don't know.
Question.
Judging by his half marathon, probably like anything further than that. I don't know. But no, he's probably actually going to be really good at half marathon and further.
Yeah, I feel like honestly, he's done a very fast half.
Honestly, probably anything on trail. Because I feel like the thing that maybe gets missed is trail running is almost a different sport.
Yeah,
It takes-
different
takes a-
muscles
yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
His stride kind of looks like he would struggle on really technical.
Yeah,
Maybe.
Yeah.
but who knows? I guess we only see him running on flat, so
Yeah, exactly.
it's like hard to compare.
Maybe he'll win Western States one day.
That would be sick.
You really check.
That would be sick.
Love to witness that journey. Carbs per hour, already talked about that one.
Mhm.
What do you run for a mile? What's your mile time?
Right now,
Yeah. Well, what was it?
Oh.
What was it now? What's your PB?
in high school, I ran 4:22, and then
Pretty
I never
legit.
got faster. That was like not bad back then.
It's pretty
pretty
good.
That
bad
sounds
now.
pretty good. Like,
Yeah.
But no, that's about it.
Fair enough. We already kind of answered this one, the final question. It does have a little second part. What do you talk about while running out there for so long? Any shit talk?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. At Black Canyon, I feel bad. I was like shit talking mad to a guy who is he's a friend, but he's like he was kind of like slated to win the thing. And I don't know, like he missed cooling off, and I was like, ooh, rookie move, like kind of stuff. I'd apologize after because I don't know. There's enough shit talking, but I feel like particular for like 100 miles or 100K, it's so hard. You almost want to make friends for half of it at least.
Yeah, it'd be tough to make a lot of enemies out there and you have to run next to each
Yeah,
other.
totally. It's like that's awkward.
do you like try and give off the vibes that you're chilling though?
Yeah, for sure.
You have to like make this,
sure.
this is easy. I'm not
Yeah,
hot.
do people tell you like, oh, I'm fucked? Or do they keep that more close to their chest? 'Cause
No,
I feel like they would.
They do.
Because there's like nothing you can really do about it.
Well, that'd be like reverse psychology.
Yeah,
You
but,
like
but what
pretend
can
you're hurting.
What can you just can't do about anything about it.
Yeah,
It's like you
I
either
mean,
have it or you don't.
totally. And the people who like, I wouldn't tell somebody out there that, like, I don't know, if my quads are gone, I wouldn't be like, oh, my quads are gone to somebody that I wasn't a friend.
Yeah.
But there's like so many guys out there that I like and respect, and like if I wasn't in the race, I'd be wanting them to win, you know? So it's like, I don't know, like Adam Peterman, who won like 2 years ago or something. I think he went to CU.
Yeah.
He's friends with Joe, maybe.
Hmm.
And at some point I passed him, he's like, my quads are gone. And I was like, I don't know.
Gonna be a long day for you, buddy.
Yeah. I was just like, all right, see ya. No, but you like, I don't know. You want him
Damn,
to,
that sucks to
Yeah.
be you.
you want him to do well. So you're like trying to give him a pep talk as you're passing him. You're like, dude, they'll come back. Like, just stick on me. It'll be great. Let's move. Or like catching people.
Yeah.
I
He
don't know.
didn't.
So
They didn't come back.
No, he didn't come back.
This time they didn't come back
No.
for him.
So it depends who it is, though, to be honest.
Makes sense.
Mm.
Well, that's it. You did an amazing job.
Sweet.
Thank you for that.
Great lightning round.
Yeah. Is there any other questions that we have, George?
I don't know.
You got any questions for us?
Oh, I don't,
Put you on the spot.
not particular. When are y'all going to do a trail race? I feel like you guys are edging closer and closer to just like,
Just now,
Hopping in
our
one.
schedule. I think we would love to. It's just the schedule is just tough.
you just got to break the schedule. I don't know.
Yeah.
Break away for a little bit.
I would do it if things lined up, but we're so particular.
That's fair.
We're very particular about what we do.
Yeah.
And
I know. I got to do a trail run first before I do a
Yeah,
trail race.
yeah.
Once I get these new shoes on, maybe it'll change my life, or
Hey,
maybe not.
Okay. Is there not something that's like a bit, what's the word I'm looking for? Contradicting about like super trail shoes where like if you're adding more foam to them, when like to run technical trails, wouldn't it be better to have less foam? Or is that not a thing?
Yeah.
You still want to protect your legs, though.
Yeah. And I don't know how the on shoe is, but normally there's like some different densities in there that like kind of force your foot over or like force your foot from rolling off the foam.
I haven't
If
even
that
worn
makes
it.
sense.
I'm sure it's like firmer and more stable than a marathon shoe.
I did try it on. It's pretty.
Yeah.
I can't say.
Yeah.
It's
Don't worry,
alright.
we'll cut that.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
But yeah, no, I don't know. But yeah, that's the problem that brands have been having is they'll be like Adidas came out with this super shoe. Some people love it. Other people, their ankles just get nuked.
Yeah, that's what I'd be
Like,
scared of.
yeah. I don't know.
Tough
Yep.
problem to solve.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Well, we want to thank you so much for coming on today. It's
Yeah,
been
thanks for having me.
super fun. I mean, you live like, I don't know, I assume you live in Boulder.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I live in Gunbarrel.
Wait, we probably live really
Yeah.
close to each other.
Yeah, I live right next to Elise and
Oh,
Charlie.
nice. Lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I live next to King Supers.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a spot to be.
We should catch up for a trail run sometime.
Yeah.
That'd
We
be
got the
awesome.
Lobo Trail to be safe.
You'll find us out there 5 days of the week.
I've definitely seen you guys out there before.
Do you run? Is that where you do your easy runs? I don't feel like we see you ever running.
He's running it in the middle of the day
Dude,
for the heat.
No, this isn't true. You just didn't know who I was at the time. I passed you on a run. I was doing threshold and you were
Huge.
definitely easy jogging. And I passed you on, I don't know, one of the numbered roads around the res.
Recently?
Very
Wait, I remember. Wait,
like 2 weeks ago.
Like on Monarch, right?
Like, yeah, right before
Wait,
Monarch.
yeah.
I was doing the Honda loop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I remember. I feel like did I say good job or something? I feel like I said. I remember some guy like ripping past.
I don't know. I was like, see you, loser.
Yeah.
Blew by you. No, I'm just kidding.
I do. Yeah,
But
I
no.
remember. I thought you looked kind of like a trail runner.
What does that mean?
Because I was trying real hard and going
What
very
does that
slow.
mean?
Yo, what is it?
This guy does not look like he runs on flat ground.
Shit, I don't know where I was going with that.
It was probably the
That's
No,
a vibe. It's a vibe thing.
it's the vibe.
the long North Face shorts, the
Yeah, that's
Probably.
dead giveaway.
mustache, everything.
Yeah, well, it was probably just dicked out in North Face. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
this dude must do something like that.
That is
giveaway.
I do have to do that so people know I'm a trail runner or not.
No, guys, I'm cool.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
No, but thank you so much for coming on. We'd love to.
We should grab a run.
Yeah, it'd be fucking
Yeah.
sick.
Holly.
Love that. We'll
Yeah.
do it.
Sweet.
But
Thanks, dude.
yeah, thanks for coming on, and thank you so much, everyone, for listening. This has been episode 193, getting dangerously close to 100. Very afraid. 193 of the podcast. We look forward to see you guys all again next week. Till then, bye-bye.